is Omar Jamal. Thank you, Madam Chair, for listening to us, and that's actually what I always hope for, and because this is very, very serious issue. And as we sit here right now debating about this, there's an interpreter in a clinic or a hospital room doing this service to the citizens and the people of this state. And because of that, there's already regulations and supervisory process in place. And we agree that there's always room to improve the service. We're all in agreement with that. But what's very serious to us as a Somali immigrants in this state is that we have not been part of this process. This has been imposed on us. We just found out 2 days ago. Now the Facebook and Twitter is all talking about this. I worked and was close friend with Paul Wallstone. He was in my apartment 3 days before his plane crashed down. And what the Twitters and Facebook are saying, DFLers are letting us down. We've been lied to. 4,000 immigrants will be out of work, and guess where they will go? Back on welfare. Yes, we are in agreement to improve services. But what is going on? I've seen, thanks to some amendments, and by the way, I'm just getting educated on this right now as you sit here. Madam Chair, what happened?
Well, sir, this is the process, and we are, we're grateful that you're here to talk to us about this, and not every bill that is here is going to progress. This is our process for getting input from people, so we're glad that you're all here to give us that input, and we're glad to hear it, and I know Representative Allen has worked very hard on this issue, but unfortunately it is a very short session, and so I think that we haven't had the time that we really should have to vet these things.
Very respectfully, I agree with that, and I'm very humbled. I'm not very enthusiastic most often how laws are made, and sometimes I work at the UN in New York. I was a former executive director of Somali legal advocacy group downtown St. Paul. And the United Nations has tons of interpreters there, Russian, Chinese, Arabic, English, French, Italians, and they have a process. But this one, I worked with the clinics, I work with judges. Madam Chair, yes, the system has to prevail. But the simple process, to go out and find out the impact it is going to have on your constituency. The system was never designed to put thousands of people out of work and back on welfare. It's supposed to improve the living standard of people. This one here, I agree with some of it. We need to improve the quality of the service, Madam Chair. But please, I am willing to the good nurture part of your nature and all the members of this committee to take a look at this bill, and before it gets passed, a lot of mothers, single mothers, a lot of kids, a lot of children, a lot of households will be without a source of income, and where they will go back on welfare. So I really want to thank you very much for your patience and listening to us, but I'm asking you, let us be part of the process.
Right, and thank you very much for your comments. I just want to be clear. You are, when you're here, being part of the process, and this bill, maybe I wasn't clear before, but we're not moving the bill forward tonight. We're just going to hold on to it because it isn't ready to move forward because of some of the things that some of the people have said here tonight. So we're glad you're here.
Thank you.
We're glad you're giving us your input. And when I say that's part of the process, I mean when there's a bill, sometimes people know about it earlier, sometimes they don't, but the public process that we're doing now is meant to let people know something's going on, bring people in that can talk to us about some of the concerns, and that's part of the way we find out what the concerns are. So thank you very much for being here. Representative Benson.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I just want to really emphasize that, sir, tonight is the first time I've heard anything about this bill. So you should not assume that all of us sitting here have been poring over this legislation. One representative has introduced this bill. So even though that a political party might be in the majority right now, which happens to be the DFL, doesn't mean that this somehow is our party's position on these issues. We're all individual legislators, and we're listening carefully to the discussion, not only the proposal by our colleague here, but people who support and people who oppose it. I'm not in a position to support this. So this isn't some kind of a political party position on anything. It happens to be a member of my caucus, the Democrats, who has introduced this bill. But it is her bill, it is not my bill, and I don't know how many other co-authors are on it. And the other thing you should realize, sir, is that the number of proposals that are introduced into a legislature compared to those who actually become law is dramatically larger. A very small number of proposals of the hundreds and even thousands of bills that are introduced ever become law. They have to go through this House, they have to go through a number of committees, then they have to go over to the Senate, and they go through the whole process again. All those steps allow for public input and debate and discussion. It takes weeks and months many times, and if it does survive all that, then it goes to the governor's office. And if the governor vetoes it, unless there's a supermajority here, the bill never becomes law. So I just want to caution you not to get too agitated at the moment, because this is a very, very preliminary evaluation of a particular bill that one member of this legislature has proposed. Thank you, Madam Chair.
Yes, thank you. And I'm going to give Representative Allen a chance to talk. We have two other people who would like to testify. So, and I just do want to say to Representative Benson, even Representative Allen bringing the bill doesn't necessarily believe that it's all correct or right. It's just an attempt to begin to work on something and to bring people together to try to solve a problem, which is a very real problem, I think. So thank you. Let's call our next testifier. And while he's coming up, Representative Allen, did you want to say something?
Madam Chair, I can wait till